It's been 2.5 or 3 months since I went backpacking, so definitely now's the time. So I'm out here in the beautiful Shenandoah. This is only about an hour and a half from my house. I figured I could try out some new gear. I've got some new Ultra shoes. They're a little bit wider, so they should help your feet spread, as they say, if you're climbing up rocks or whatever. So let's take a look at the course I'm going to go on. Here we are at Jenkins Gap. I'm going to hike down the road, probably about 1/4 mile, and then come around here through Marshall Trail, and then connect to Bluff Trail right here, and take Bluff Trail up toward Gravel Springs area. There's a Gravel Springs shelter here. Hopefully I can find some camp options right around this area. I don't intend on being at the shelter. If you remember from our Jason and I, when we hiked the first hike for Virginia, we actually stopped at Gravel Springs Shelter and got water there, and then hiked back out, and it was just pouring down rain. But Gravel Springs, there's not really any place to hammock there, so I really need to find some place before or right after that shelter area. So start hiking up on the Appalachian Trail here, all the way around back to Jenkins Gap, so one nice loop. First things first, gotta get my bug repellent on because it is September and the mosquitoes are already out, and it's only 4 o'clock. So it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm getting a late start because I really don't have that far to go, and I figured 2 miles an hour roughly. I didn't want to be at a campsite right now, right, and then have to wait the entire day through. There's no cell signal here, so I'll get here late. Like I said, 4 o'clock. 2 horses, so by the time 7 gets around, it should really start getting dark then. Be on the verge of getting dark, especially in the tree line. So I should be able to find some place to camp then. So that's the plan. Also, clouds are just now starting to roll in, and I'm not sure if it's going to rain. It said that these should blow over, but you never know. Anyway, got my pack ready. That's probably about 25 pounds with 2 liters of water in there. The only thing I'm packing less of on this hike than any other hike is food. Then that's it. Just put my shoes on, get my map in my pocket, and put some bug repellent on, and we'll hit the trail. To start this out, we have a little bit of a road hike. I brought my untrusty Garmin. This looks like the entrance. Yep, Mount Marshall. That's us.
the Katadyn Bee-Free water filter. Some of the things I didn't like about the Sawyer was the bags that you go to fill the water up was really small. So I went to a zipper bag, but then it means I end up carrying a lot of extra stuff. With this filter system, there's a couple of nice things about it. First of all, the filter is part of the mechanism. So this whole thing, you drink out of this end, this goes in the bottle. So it's all one piece, and the bottle has a nice larger opening compared to the Sawyer. Additionally, when you go to clean it, instead of having to worry about back flushing, you can just stick this in some water and wiggle it, or put it, fill some clean water in the bag and shake the bag to get the debris cleaned out from the exposed filter here. I also have a 2-liter bag for gravity filtration, and the Sawyer ends fit right on here. So you unscrew this drink nozzle and the Sawyer end will fit there, and then I can just feed a line directly into my bladder to fill it or whatever I want. So let's get this bottle filled up and we'll hit the trail again. It also filters a lot faster. Take that, Sawyer. Okay, let's keep going. Bluff Trail. That's us. close at this point. I'm getting exhausted, losing light. So probably maybe 10-15 more minutes of light and then on with the headlamp. But by then I should definitely be there, definitely. And then I really just have to start looking for a place to throw my hammock, make some dinner, chill out. My feet are hot, so the shoes aren't holding up really as good as my Solomon's did. So, I mean, I like them, but the Solomons definitely have a lot more cushion than this. Oh, that's okay. Anyway, I'm close. Looking forward to finding some place to camp for the night and get a bunch of water in me and making dinner and going to sleep. Half a mile this way. So 10 more minutes to Skyline Drive. There was a spring back there, small spring, so I took that water I had in my bottle, dumped it in the bladder, then refilled the bottle up. I like having the camel pack. There's Gravel Springs Hut, 0.1 miles, and 0.4 miles to Skyline Drive that way. Not really sure. I know Gravel Springs Hut. Well, that's the closest. Let's check it out. It's close to the AT. So that should do. That should do. Blaze. White Blaze. Made it to the AT. Appalachian Trail. Okay. So Jenkins Gap is that way. And on a side note, I just came up from Gravel Springs Hut, which on our Virginia hike, after about 3 or so miles, it was a killer going up. So I think I've got a major accomplishment. I mean, I just hiked almost 7 miles, got to the hut, and then at the lower part of the hut, and hiked straight up. And it wasn't as bad as the first time. So that's an accomplishment. All right, let's go find a place to camp for the night. So I made it to camp, or I made it to a camp spot. Now I'm gonna make some dinner, macaroni and cheese. I forgot my Spam. I was gonna get a single slice of Spam, but it's all right. I'm starving, so time to make some food. This is how you want to wake up when you're backpacking.
It's almost 7 o'clock. And I would hang around, but it should start raining maybe at 8, lightly. There's a slight chance of light showers. I have 5 miles to go, 2.5 hours. So, I figured I'd get started now. Last night while I was night hiking, I was just, man, I was beat. And got to just a little over 9 miles, and I was debating, do I keep pushing ahead? Because I only had 5 more, less than 5 more miles to go, and I could just make it to the car, head home. But yeah, my legs were just worn out. So I passed the overlook that we were just at, and I was just looking for a clearing. It's just hard to see at night, even with a headlamp. What areas are clear. I mean, this over here, I could have probably made a campsite, but just hard to tell. Everything gets kind of hazy. So I passed it by, and I don't know how far it went, maybe up to here. And then I decided what would be cool is to see that overlook in the morning, like this morning. And I would go back and just see if I could find 2 trees that would work. And luckily I did, because I did find that situation, but somebody had already broke camp there, so there was already a fire pit, there were some stone chairs, that kind of thing. So if you have a used campsite, you can reuse it. They just don't want you to make any new ones. So that worked out well. The only problem was the bugs were so loud. I really didn't get any sleep. And then I checked. It went quiet about 6:15 this morning. I mean, it was just loud. And at 6:15 this morning, nothing. So I dozed on and off all night long, but I never got any sleep. So now I'm just looking forward to finishing my hike, go home, take a shower, maybe get a real bite to eat. I was a little low on water, so I'm having beef jerky, so I don't have to cook it, and a couple of Advil, so I don't have to make coffee. And for muscle tenderness, soreness, my hips probably the worst right now. Anyway, so 4-ish more miles to go. Let's hit it. Well, it's steep when they build stairs into the trail. I knew this was going to be here this morning. That's why there was no way I could have made it last night, not in the condition my legs were in. I mean, it was hard just to get to the 9 miles. All I wanted to do was just stop. This. Oh, there's a trail that goes back that way. Maybe that goes to the AT. This is a nice view as well. Or in about a mile from here, I'm going to cross Skyline Drive again, and that'll be the last time until I get to Jenkins Gap, which is where the car is. The distance from there is probably like a mile, so I've only got 2.5 miles roughly to go now. About an hour and some change. Out of this whole hike, the only thing I wish I would have done is brought earplugs. That way I could have gotten some sleep. So I will be adding those to my pack. Just need a couple sets, super lightweight, no big deal. The Katadyn is my new favorite water filter. I mean, you fill that little bottle up and it just, it's great. It takes literally seconds to fill up my bottle. And then I have a 2-liter bag as well. It comes with its own little stuff sack. I didn't get to try that out, but man, that bee-free Katadyn, I just love it. Love it. So, gotta get rid of all the Sawyer stuff, I think. Anyway, let's keep going.
with the ultras show that I like them, but for me, I like the Solomons better. There's more padding in the Solomons. I love the speed laces, but I'll tell you the one thing that I noticed, I kind of shuffle my feet a little bit. That's why I stumble a lot. And the Solomons have a thick plastic toe cup, so kind of protects your toe, you know, from kicking stuff, where these shoes really don't. And although I love the foot box on the Ultras probably more than the Solomons, I just think that the Solomons for me work out a little bit better. I still like these, and depending on the conditions that I go hiking in, it'll give me another option. These or the Solomons. Those are really the only two I'm going to wear. Jenkins Gap Trail. Oh, there we go, parking lot. There's my Jeep. We made it. So I'm packed up, ready to head back home. Changed into some flip-flops, so my feet are thanking me. It was a good hike. The night hiking was, whatever. I was just worn out by the time because I had to rush. But I would absolutely do this hike again. Actually, I might just do it in the other direction. I think that'd be kind of cool. That way you get here, you hike up, and then you go up the mountain first, and the rest of it kind of exiting out would be flat, and there's a little camp area right by the marker for Little Devil Staircase, or Big Devil Staircase, one of those on the map. And that makes it, that'd make a nice stopping point if you could make it there. Well, right now, Syntax 77 would be saying it's cheeseburger time, but I think I'm going to be happy with coffee and a bagel. Let's hit the road.